Amen. God is our healer. You can watch Maritime and Port News live on your YouTube on Omanfm, and also listen to it on FM in Kumasi. Maritime and Port News, proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. My name is Nani Sibwat, and let's move straight to our stories this morning. The Ghana Shippers Authority, in collaboration with the cocoa marketing company CMC, has launched the 2021 cocoa freight negotiations. Now, this year's bidding will take place on 10th September 2021. At a press briefing yesterday, the managing director of the cocoa marketing company CMC, Vincent Ochre Ankomia, intimated that by the end of this year's cocoa season, Ghana would have produced 1,060,000 tons of cocoa. Thus, he said, would be a record-breaking achievement, up by what was achieved in the year 2020.
I wish to welcome you to this media engagement marking the launch of the 2021-22 Cocoa Freight Negotiation Conference scheduled for September 10th, 2021 on this very premises, that's the Ghana Shippers House. For 2 decades now, CMC, that's Cocoa Marketing Company, and Ghana Shippers Authority have partnered to engage carriers and shipping lines in the determination of freight charges for the carriage of Ghana's cocoa beans, the best cocoa in terms of quality the whole world, and other cocoa products from Ghana to destinations in Europe, the Americas, and the Asias, among others. These agreed freight charges at the annual freight negotiation conferences become applicable for each cocoa season, usually starting from October, 1st October to 30th September the following year. The conferences also continue to provide an effective platform for Ghana Shippers Authority and CMC to engage shipping lines serving Ghana's cocoa trade for agreements on issues affecting the carriage of this best cocoa we know of. The year 2021-22 edition of the annual freight conferences will be the third to be held in Ghana. While the COVID-19 restrictions have played a major part in hosting it consecutively at the same venue, contrary to the established convention, we intend to take full advantage of the opportunity to foster greater local stakeholder participation, to deepen relationships for mutual benefit, beneficial cooperation among key actors along the cocoa value chain, and ultimately the economy of Ghana.
You heard the managing director of the cocoa marketing company CMC, Vincent Ochre Ankomia. Now, the chief executive officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Ms. Benonita Bismarck, explained the processes for the negotiations come the 10th of September 2021 and assure that her authority will ensure that the interest of Ghana is prioritized.
The objective of the negotiations is that we get what is best for our country. And that is why they are called negotiations. We cannot preempt it at this stage, but whatever is happening globally, before we come into the negotiations, there's a lot that goes on. The two teams meet, we do a lot of research to determine what is happening on the landscape, and then we bring all of that to bear on the day. Shipping lines put in their bid. We look at what is best for our country without compromising also on the quality of our cocoa. So at this stage, I wouldn't want to preempt it and say that expect X or expect Y. We all come to a level playing field, look at all the variables that come into play, and determine that our country should be the benefit. So that's how we're going to go into the conference on the 10th of September, God willing. Thank you.
You have the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Ms. Benonita Bismarck. In other stories, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers says government must reclaim all accrued revenue from firms that have defaulted in payment of taxes and breach of licensing requirement before punishing them. This follows the withdrawal of licenses of some bulk oil distribution companies by the National Petroleum Authority over regulatory infractions. A recent Auditor General report has also revealed that 28 oil marketing companies owe some 227 million Ghana cedis in taxes to the state. But Executive Secretary of the Chamber, Duncan Amoa, says withdrawing the licenses alone might not be enough. Hence, the NPA, together with the Ghana Revenue Authority, must ensure that whatever funds that accrue to the state is recovered before the licenses are withdrawn. If you just join us, you're listening to Maritime and Port News. Chinese authorities are expected to begin a phased reopening of a container terminal at the massive port of Ningbo by the end of the week if no further COVID infections are detected. And the overall effect on ocean shipping so far have been less than originally feared, according to logistics and freight data providers monitoring the situation. Last week's closure of the island container terminal after a worker tested positive for the virus put global supply chain managers on edge over a possible repeat of the month-long slowdown at the terminal earlier this summer. Now, that incident caused huge shipping delays and container backlogs that took weeks to recover. According to reports, there were 41 vessels at anchor waiting for the berth Tuesday morning, and the average number of weekly port call to Ningbo fell 22% from nearly 188 container vessels to 146 last week, but the total normal vessels capacity calling the port only dropped 7.8% to 572,052 foot equivalent units. Project 44 and a supply chain visibility platform. Carriers are primarily diverting to other terminals rather than skipping the port entirely. On this note, we wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News. Maritime and Port News is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in oil shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra, and also supported by Amen Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital. Amen. God is our healer. My name is Nanesi Boatang, my producer, Kwekwa Boache. Thanks for joining me, and that will be all for this week's edition of Maritime and Port News. See you next week.
Go. Wake up to a fresh morning. National Agenda, your number one morning show. Go. Wake up to a fresh morning. National Agenda, your number one morning show.